on camera now?
Yep.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's Lord Andre here from the house with a Moneybags deck. Because this deck is very expensive.
Just sat on the beam of your couch.
Shut the fuck up.
Andre, your couch hurt my butt.
I don't care. That's your problem.
Andre.
Anyways.
Andre.
So, what?
Your couch is shit.
Yeah, your deck is shit too, but we allowed it on camera.
Andre.
What?
Your deck is super generic.
Shut the fuck up. So, this deck profile is Kagero and its Force Clan. I'm sure you all knew that anyways. So.
Almost begs the question why you said it in the first place.
So. I'm gonna preface this. Alright? Everyone assumes that, oh, Kagero got more support. That must mean they control better than they did. The answer is no. They actually control much less. Alright?
I don't think people were assuming that.
A lot of people
Overlord's
did.
always been an aggro thing.
A lot of people did. A lot of people, they assume that Kagero's good matchups are still the same good matchups because you can control them. And I say, no. You want to play control? Go play Waterfall. Well, that's not what we're here to do. Alright?
I wonder if the end Waterfall would be a thing.
No, because you need an Overlord and Soul for the second effect.
Yeah, but you don't fucking care about the second effect. The second effect is discard 3. Why would you ever do that?
Oh, like, first effect.
That's your desperation. That's your desperation finisher move.
No, the second effect doesn't need the second effect doesn't need an Overlord. The second effect just the generic Restone plus 10. The first effect needs an Overlord as well.
No, the first effect requires 4 less cards in hand. The second effect requires an Overlord. And the second effect is the terrible one where you discard 3.
But yeah, go play Waterfall. This is
so the end Waterfall potentially a thing because the end much better first stride than OG on Overlord.
So this Kagero is a version all about being aggressive and trying to kill your opponent with a restanding Vanguard. So let's get into it. Here's your starter.
It's a starter.
Alright. We have our Moneybags card. We have 4. Draconic Overlord, the Great, who is now $70. And I don't know why the fuck this card is $70.
Still cheaper than Bermuda deck.
So, what this guy does is when you place him, you ride him, you can call Draconic Neoflame from Drop Zone.
Because reasons.
It's a plus one. Second effect is what we're here for, though. At the end of the battle that attacked, if you have a grade 3 install, so generic, not limited to a name, so you can play whatever the fuck you want as your other grade 3.
Which begs the question, why do you find that other grade 3?
We'll see. I'll tell you in a bit. But you can counterblast one, discard 2 cards from hand, restand this card, and Draconic Neoflame. So you get 5 attacks in the Force Clan. That's super good. Even against Protect clans, because they have a hard time with 5 cards.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to show off what your next card is already. You ready for this? You ready for this? There you go. That's the next card. It says Overlord. It's grade 3. You're done.
Hang on. So yeah, this is your boss monster. If you don't hit this, you do shit for the game.
Because your other card is a blank card that's a grade 3 Overlord.
Oh, no. This isn't necessarily a bronze card.
It's a blank card.
Alright, so, this is Draconic Overlord. If you don't know what he does.
No, Andre. It's a blank card. Like, the more you try and address the restand ability, the worse that card gets. Because the restand ability is controlled by your opponent. It's a hard minus. And it's just not good. Like,
I mean,
it swings on rearguard, and that's something, but when do you pay that cost?
So
because
your other
rather just armor bust.
Your other options are Fire Rage Dragon, which is completely RNG reliant. Waterfall, who does Diddly Squat as a first ride anyways, and you'd rather be on this later in the game. Or Dual Axe Dragon, who doesn't do anything?
Dual Axe Archdragon can control off if the opponent plays something that gathers back row, which not a lot of things do right now.
Which is the problem. So that card does nothing. This at least puts your opponent in a situation.
No. It doesn't do anything. It's just searchable. That is all.
No. Well, this card...
it doesn't, because it lets your opponent choose whether you get the restand off or not. I cannot tell you how many times I have baited opponents with this card because I knew I could push aggressively next turn. So you're going to toss out those 2 cards, and I'm going to punch you in the face for doing so.
I mean, there are situations where your opponent's going to be in grade 2. You use a skill, you make this 33k with the force marker on it. And they have to guard more than they want to, or else the restand happens, and the restand could
But
be
I
critical.
want the restand to happen because you don't have defense in the first place, and now you're pitching an extra card in early game when I can afford the damage.
But you can also hit the crit on this, too.
Like,
This card can
okay,
win.
fine. If you sack, he does something. Do you really want your argument for this card to be you can sack?
Well, no.
Rest your case, sir. You are done.
I'm not done. I mean, what this
You
card
are done.
does...
It says Overlord. It's a grade 3. You are done.
Well, what this card also does is it provides early game pressure because
It's
Dual
not
Axe...
pressure.
Can I finish?
Not if you keep trying to go down this road, because I have dismantled it like 3 times in a row.
Dual Axe Dragon requires that you play 2 columns of rear guards. If Kagero doesn't do a good job of doing this, this can get 3 attacks with just the restand ability and another rear guard. So this card means you have less field commitment for the same amount of pressure in the early game.
No, because it's not the same pressure. You're letting me choose whether or not you get the restand off.
I mean,
And that means you're only going to get those attacks if they are advantageous to me. You are working against yourself if you ever activate that effect.
not everyone has the resources to be able to be like, I can choose when the restand happens. I mean, a lot of plans early game. if
Yeah,
you're on
they
grade
do though, because you're going to have a minimum of 6 cards by that point. He's swinging for a max of 33.
2, which is 15k.
That's 2 triggers.
25.
That's 2 triggers for a 2 pass. And if I have the PG, forget about it.
I mean, searchable card. So,
Searchable card.
does have a rear guard effect, so it has that over Dual Axe. You have your 4 Draconic Neoflames.
This card says Neoflame.
I mean,
Oh, I tell a lie. It gives you Vanguard 5k, that matters. And
Actually-
like situationally, the crit can matter.
well, actually, it can give any Draconic Overlord the grade 5k. Actually, theoretically, if you want to make the argument for Dual Axe, you know, if the people are like, this is also rear guard, you could also just have this, and 2 of this.
No, specifically Draconic Overlord the Great.
Yeah, Draconic Overlord the Great can also be a rear guard.
Oh.
So if you have 2 of these, it's 23, which is also the advantage of this card, except not the Soul Blast. So if you want to make a case for Dual Axe Archer, I can you can do that.
I mean, meh. You'd rather just save it to ride and get another Force Gift anyway.
So, you need to play this card because it works with this. Or Berserk Dragon.
You are literally required to play that card.
Or Berserk Dragon, because it's still probably one of your best cards in the deck.
Yep.
You get a free retire of anything, and it's a 13k beater.
Yep.
Fortunately, Kagero doesn't have enough retiring anymore where you can reliably get the more regards than your opponent condition off, but what else you can fucking play?
Still a 13k beat stick. Still gets you 1 pop.
Your main control of the deck. Doesn't do anything else, does it give you an act once per turn retire.
Well, it puts back Flame Dragons. It could potentially matter at some point for someone.
Just put this behind your Vanguard though, and you can pop a lot of shit.
And really annoy Narukami players.
Do this because you're
Because it
probably-
searches. Yay!
I mean, I actually kind of always debate whether 3 of this and 2 of this. You know, probably by tomorrow you could see me be playing 3 of this and 2 of this. And the reason we're playing more of this would be because even though it's only a once per game ability, you want to have more copies so you can see it more often, be able to fix your rides. Right now, only 2 of that. Soul Blast 2, I'll be legit with you. We're only going to be using that once per game. I mean,
I can see a need your Great Freezing Soul.
yeah, this first ability though, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're never gonna get that because Kagero doesn't board wipe anymore.
Unless, of course, you're playing Blade Master.
Which is weird because this card is supposed to. Actually, it also ironically works with Nobel, but you're not gonna be playing Nobel. Great one.
So, actually, that might be a decent way to build Nobel. Because you can play that with OG Overlord, search it out. Or the end once that's out.
Actually, you
Because
could do
the
that.
end is just going to be better in all circumstances.
Or guys. I'm actually okay with this card actually, because the whole purpose of this deck with Neoflame is that I like to have my Vanguards constantly have crits, and this card helps with that regard. So I'm constantly.
I mean, that card is very meh. 9 times out of 10 you're just boosting with it.
I mean, I like the option of being able to get my Vanguard crits and to be able to get a soul.
You keep trying to put like lipstick on a pig with the cards that are just mostly vanilla. Like, it's okay that they're mostly vanilla. You don't have a lot of other options for cards with effects in this deck. Sometimes it'll matter. Most of the time it's just a booster.
Same with this, actually. This doesn't do much.
Sometimes it'll matter. Most of the time it's just a booster.
I mean, this is a cycling card, so of course they don't retire enough where you can actually get this off reliably if you need it.
Even if you did, though, you're trading booster for a random card, so it's like, meh.
I mean, here's the card that does that but better because of all these counter charges,
It also boosts for 11.
which is important when you're boosting grade 3s or Berserk Dragon because it makes 24. And this stuff does not do a good job of hitting above 23. Trigger 7 crit. Because same crit power is nice. 1 random draw trigger to help increase the consistency of the deck. It's piece reliant now. Draw PGs because
PGs.
and game triggers.
Are you considering putting the grade 1 PGs in 12 crit when they come out?
That's a Ryan question. So I don't know how much of this deck I'm actually going to support coming next set, just because I don't really want to pay for cards I might not use. I mean, probably not. Even though, like, in fairness, actually, the grade 1 lineup is pretty trash that you could easily get rid of this. The grade 1 PGs are probably not really feel much of a difference, so. It's actually a consideration. It's actually a consideration. But
Just because getting a crit on your first attack with once his face is dirty. The great.
But overall, deck is solid. It's not anything like game breaking. I mean, bad matchups, anything that can rush the shit out of it.
I've noticed it has a tendency to brick. Like, if you don't see your Neo Flames or you don't see your Greats, you're just kind of gonna lose.
Well, there's a lot of loose cons. For example, the problem I had with Dual Axe Archdragon, which is why I also went back to this, is when I would open up with this and nothing else. Because I'm not going to pitch this at Geosis for the Dual Archdragon, of course. And then because I already have one in hand and I only have 3 other targets to be searched off Dragon Arm, and I usually whiff on it. So I'd be stuck playing on this vanilla card, whereas at least with like this card,
Search
you know.
it out. Yay!
Yeah.
That's what we keep coming back to on that guy. It's searchable.
You brick if you ride this first, and then have to ride this, especially against a Protect clan. You brick if you ride this, and then you have to ride this for the entire game.
You brick if you never see your Neo Flames.
I mean, you can still get the restanding off, but that's not that good.
You're talking about a mediocre restand turn 4.
Which is why I lost that 3rd game to Murakami.
Yep.
Speaking of another bad.
Which is why I said this deck has a tendency to brick.
Speaking of Murakami, that's also a bad matchup because you don't like these getting bound.
You know
They
what
get
else
retired?
those? Cyber Dragons.
We don't talk about Cyber Dragons.
Oh, we talk about Cyber Dragons all the
But
time.
actually, on the bricking point, this deck's tendency to brick is why I kind of want to up the copies of this, make it even 4. Just because, like, you really, really, really want to see this stupid card to be able to unbrick your deck. I mean, one change I could see myself doing is, like, you know, maybe we cut out the burnouts completely. Maybe.
If you had something that went into Soul, that would probably be helpful.
I mean, I do.
But the only thing that does is like Kimnara.
Oh, guys.
Didn't guys like calls to Soul Blast or something like that?
No, guys goes into Soul.
Oh, that's right. He also Count Blast.
Kinara retires himself with also Encounter Blast. So,
Oh, Kimnara retires himself?
Kinara retires himself.
Why does nothing in this deck go into Soul?
Just this. Well, there's technically spillover too if you want to go down that route.
But then
Yeah.
that's another grade 2 trying to compete for space when you
Yeah,
already
especially
have
since the
grade
grade 2
2
lineup, especially since like the whole grade 2 lineup is fair, is like really tight. Like I said, you know, I could see myself very easily just being like, fuck it, just run forward to this motherfucker. Just because, like, I'm only going to use him once per game, but if I'm running him at 4, I'm going to see him quite a bit.
Yeah, it's the same argument I made for Dark Bomb Trumpeter. Because, like, yeah, I'm not going to use the effect all that often, but I want to be able to use the effect turn 2.
And then, like, what I could do then is I can cut just the last burnout of this card for, like, 2 dual X Archdragon, because, like, I'll grant that that card has some niche situations, like when you're going second and getting your face pounded in by Bermuda Triangle, and they have, like, Karos in the back row. And they're like, ha ha ha, you're never going to be able to touch this. And then you ride it, and then just kill their back row. So, again, there's a lot of adjustments that can be made to this deck. Still experimentation stages very much, but, I mean, for now this is...
Realize. Gauntlet Buster Dragon literally does the Kimara dual axe combo on his own.
Yep, that's actually kind of funny. I mean, look, if you want to go for dual axe Arch Dragons, you can do that. I mean, but your deck's consistency is going to be more prone to bricking because this is not an overlord and therefore not searchable. So...
It is unfortunate that you had to play at least a couple copies of those because of, well, he does nothing as first strike.
Yeah, I mean, Kagero does not have a surefire first strike, and that's unfortunate. I mean, I even saw a Japanese list that actually just straight up did 4 Waterfall for this. It was just like, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything on first strike, but my second ride's going to always be guaranteed to do something.
Turn 3, what that?
So, like, maybe that's something I could experiment with. I don't know yet. I don't think it'll be a good idea.
I still like the end as first ride, because at least it, you know, does something.
Well, the end's not out yet.
But it will be.
It will be pretty soon.
And you can buy it and play it and just leave like Joker for me. And my Cyber Dragons.
But I want to play Messiah today. So, anyways, those are just my thoughts. Those are just some of the changes I may make. If you want to consider other tech options, I mean, you can play Kimnara. You could play Dragonfall or Riaz for the sole purpose that it makes your Neoflame 23. The problem is, I don't know what I did with those promos. I don't think I actually pulled any. Maybe Lee didn't. I can experiment with it if he brings it.
Maybe I have some somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually one card that no one played. Like, I saw this card in no deck list, so I was like, this must be bad. But it actually wasn't half bad. It was Dragon Knight Waleed, I think was his name. 8K grade 1. That when placed, if your opponent has 3 rear guards or less, this unit and a unit in the same column as it gets 3K.
Oh yeah.
And I played it as a 4 of, because it made my Neoflame 23, and then 34K swing. And strangely enough, it worked actually well.
Anything that can boost the power of that Neoflame is really adding that extra shit on top of that, the great turn.
I think the reason I took it out was because the retiring power of this deck is very unreliable. Since now you have to watch for Counterblast because of this motherfucker, whereas Waterfall did not cost a Counterblast, and your Counterblasts were free to be used for a lot of your control options. Hell, for the longest of time, I even played with that Counterblast too, dude.
Yeah, that was a fun card.
And, you know, second of all, you also have to run this, which takes up a spot that could have been used for, like, in a Holm or something. And then on top of all that, most of your good retiring abilities are only on place anyways. So, that's why I took that card out, but there are ways you can build a deck that you can make that card work. So we can also consider that as a tech option if you wanted to go that route. But anyways, that's the deck profile. Like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, if you want to play Control, go play Waterfall.
Or